It's fantastic to be back in Stockholm, where I started my ENT career about 17 years ago. Time flies. Now I live in Portugal, of obvious reasons, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today. Otitis media with diffusion continues as one of the major challenges in modern medicine for ENT doctors. And the problem is that despite what we do, whether we operate or not, we have problems. So just on a beautiful Monday, such as this, at this hour, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, just in Europe, 1,000 children were operated upon with grommets, just to grasp the dimension of the problem. And yet, more than 90% have no active treatment. We can call it watchful waiting, or actually we might even close our eyes for those, but they wander around with bilateral or unilateral hearing loss, and with some affection of their quality of life. So, of the children that were operated today, just statistically, maybe about 200 might need another surgery next year. About 50 may have chronic perforation of the eardrum, and about 10 may have cholesteatoma in the future. Eustachian tube and the poor ventilation has found as one of the major important factors contributing to otitis media diffusion. And the problem has been that, nor surgically, neither with the previous autoinflation devices, we can treat this population. All the previous trial autoinflation devices targets children from 6, 7, 8 years of age. So none of them is possible to use in children below the age of 5. And here in the publicity from the commercial itself, from the company, you see that the child has his mouth open. So this was a photoshopped photo, not even the commercial kid could use the ultimate balloon. So in 2008 started the challenge to develop a new device. And the device is pretty simple. It's got a mask to cover the nose and mouth, a T-shaped tube with a one-way valve, and with a froggy. The froggy has got a pump incorporated. So, based on these facts, children can play 10 different games and perform autoinflation. The only instruction is that they have to hold the mask and breathe in it. When they breathe in, the air enters without restriction. And when they breathe out, the air is captured. So they automatically perform an autoinflation. Furthermore, they can perform it through their mouth. Because children normally breathe mostly through the mouth, especially if they're encouraged. If you ask them to blow, they blow through their mouth. So here, they can perform nasal breathing, mouth breathing, they can laugh, they can cough, they can cry, they can do anything within the mask. With the mask adapted, and they perform autoinflation. Furthermore, we've got a pump system that allows to increase the pressure in the youngest children. Normally it's the funny game between the parent and the child, and the child doesn't have to be forced to do that, except maybe on the airplane when they cry and it's a critical situation. Then the parents can only place the mask to cover the nose and mouth, and then it's done. So previous trials, now I've got actually excessive here in my own middle ear, but that's how it works. We have done a publication on the security and the pressure level to open the Eustachian tube, and we use actually 3 different balloons, so we have increasing pressure until we reach the desired effect. We did a 2-minute autoinflation test with kindergarten kids 2 to 4 years of age. Incredibly, 87% of compliance and 97% with objective ventilation checked by tympanometry. We have had a randomized control trial with 2 months of follow-up with a crossover. 100% compliance, and 82% of these children that were in the waiting list of surgery actually avoided surgery. 12 months follow-up shows persistent audiometric and tympanometric results, and then we compared it to tubes, and incredible enough, the hearing improvement was equivalent, and superior effect on the long term, because you can repeat this treatment when the child catches another code, and no complications. It might sound a little bit ridiculous to compare this to the Autovent tube, but however, we did it. As expected, below the age of 5, it's almost impossible to perform it. And even though the child might perform it, the effect wasn't completely there. We are still evaluating these data. And we were contacted by parents of children with craniofacial alterations such as cleft palate or Down syndrome. All the children had been submitted to at least 1 grommet surgery, and the parents were looking for some alternative. So we said, okay, if you want it, you can try it. And all of a sudden, we had followed up for 12 months. And here we are today presenting the pilot results. Incredible enough, even children with Down syndrome love to do that. This is a Down syndrome twin sister. She hasn't got glue here, but she loves to do it anyhow. This is the girl who has actually got glue here and needs to do the treatment. It's kind of a competition between them. She wants to continue. This is a picture from my family, my baby to be born, and my little Miriam that was 3 years old at that time. I think it shows the importance of hearing, actually at any age. You see how the sister is communicating with a baby to be born, and until adulthood. So what we do now with OME children, basically, we let them wait. We have the watchful waiting period. And I say that now we have it, so as fast as we discover it, we can test it. The new autoinflation device permits to do it actually at any age. There is no age limits. And you do 10 different games with children. There's not force involved here to perform the treatment. And with this, I thank you all.